architect's still on the hook for the design and, you know, the efficiency of what he's putting in. But again, part of the reason to have that contractor come in and have that engagement early on in the process is to avoid fighting over those particular hiccups that might be in the drawings. So if anything, they might take on a little bit more responsibility. Again, it's anecdotal, and that's my experience in working with lease-leasebacks versus design-bid-build.
And the change orders that we are seeing within our contracts, are they unforeseen conditions, or are they, can you describe them?
On the one we sent as a notice of completion tonight, most of them are unforeseen conditions. Some of those were site requested modifications to the science buildings on Mount Alba, but very minor adjustments to that particular item.
My concerns come not from anything that you've been discussing, actually. It's not whether they're correctly insured, whether they're competent in companies. My concern comes from the initial process of the bidding process. In my conversations, I've heard more about it discouraging bidders, where we might not get the range of bidders that we could, because the perception frequently with lease-leaseback is it becomes more of an exclusive club of people who are eligible and invited in. And what I don't want to see in public, with public funds, is that we've discouraged bidders from applying because they feel like it's already kind of a done deal among a certain group of folks, and we always return to that certain group of folks. So it's not in the final product or the process of that, it's in the initial process of getting to the selection of those bidders, and whether or not the field's open and everybody thinks it's a fair open bid, which is what we kind of move away from, is what I've been in discussion about.
If I can, I agree. I mean, I agree with that 100%. And by all means, I mean, and I think as Mr. Cody said, I mean, as far as making sure that an invitation is out there for folks who want to propose on a lease-leaseback. You know, there might be a couple of contractors that you could probably think of, at least some of the folks in the industry that you wouldn't want to be working on the project, that you expect a claim from, and that may not be very good contractors. But aside from those, you're right, why not invite as many folks as possible? Now, if you put it out to formal bid, you do get everybody. You get a couple of folks that maybe are going to come in and try to make a claim against the district, and you'll be actually probably spending more public funds, and nobody ultimately wants that. But as far as an open process is inviting more people, I agree with that, frankly.
My question for Mr. Cody is just that, how do we inject more competition into this process? Because essentially, we have one bid here.
Well, I think, and we discussed this extensively leading up to this particular meeting. Obviously, it's word of mouth. We need to call more potential people that could. So I've talked with a number of people. If people have contractors that are interested, we're open to discussing that with them. One of the first things that we do is we have the qualification process. So everyone's welcome to put in a qualification package.
And in terms of the realm, I mean, at $3.5 million, is that not large enough? Is that kind of in the sweet spot? Or I'm asking for your expertise here in terms of just the amount, and is that, for a job of this size, what would you expect?
In this competition right now, we're hearing that there's an uptick in the contracts that are out there. We recently did HAC, and we sent this out to several large contractors, several that we've used in the past. Almost all of the larger contractors said we got enough business. I did have one contractor on one of the lease-leasebacks looked at the actual lease at 270 pages and said, this contract's larger than I care to look at, but right now we're seeing what they consider an uptick in the market, so people are going after what they might consider more lucrative. Our schedules are very aggressive, but again, that's to accommodate the students.
In the last year, have we had any instances where, with the lease-leasebacks, we just have not had enough bidders and you've sent it back out to bid and said, I need more bidders because I don't have enough choices?
Let me double check, but I think there was one where we did go back out and re-solicit for new qualifications. And I think that was when we first started people didn't understand the process, they weren't calling us to discuss the process up front. So I think that there was one where we came up to a quote and we didn't get anything back.
Since you only had essentially one quote here, did you consider doing that in this instance and resoliciting additional quotes?
No. I looked at both of the quotes, and the quote we're recommending this evening is well within what we had estimated the project to take. The contractor's a high-quality contractor. They've got a lot of experience with the district. They got a great track record of services on the site, working with the site. They have a great track record of bringing the projects in on time. And obviously when I'm building new classrooms and trying to accommodate a program, that's very important to us.
Mr. Cody, the timeline on this is to break ground. Is it to have them available for August? Or are we projecting September, October for having the buildings ready?
For the chemistry lab, this is September, October.
So if we went out for a rebid, redid the process, then we'd be looking at,
This day plus however long it would take to do another competition. So usually we put that out for about a month, so we're losing approximately a month. That's
Okay.
before we could start.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you to both of you for taking the time to come down and be grilled. Thank you.